If we were all technologists thinking about companies, we could get stuck in that technology. But we have to think about where the markets are. And they're very distributed. They're becoming much more digital and virtual. And they're much more global than they ever used to be. A lot of the time, we're thinking about how do we get technology to work. And we're working in the lab. But the ideas that we're working on often come from the street or the hospital operating theatre. And so we're having to change the whole pattern of how we source ideas, how we work and collaborate on ideas. That's the precursor for what I want to say about London. Smart London really emerged to build a strategy for implementing the next wave of digital infrastructure in London and connect science and technology with the marketplace and with the infrastructure that we have in London. We're just transitioning to near-field communication devices so that you don't have to buy a ticket any longer. Purchasing a ticket to travel on the underground is a form of currency exchange. It costs about 10% to administer. Crossrail, we're building Europe's largest infrastructure project underneath London at the moment. It will be the first real digital railway when it opens in 2018. In the transport infrastructure will be sensors everywhere, so that when you come onto the platform, your smart device will tell you where to stand because there's an empty seat, because the train knows the seat's empty because there are sensors in every seat. There are going to be lasers measuring the wear on the brake pad so we don't have to stop the trains for maintenance inspection. Then under the streets of London, we're doing this digital mapping of all of our old infrastructure, the wires, the pipework, the plumbing, the things that break, the water supply. And we're building a full digital model of that so that there are no excuses for digging the street twice in 1 year. The iKnife. The iKnife came out of Imperial College. It's a surgeon's tool. It sinters as it's cutting, and the vapor from the wound is taken through a mass spectrometer, analyzed and chemoprofiled, and within a second's delay comes to a head-up display and tells the surgeon whether he or she has cut all the cancerous tumor out or not. Very soon it will start to be predictive, and it will be able to tell you whether it's a primary cancer or a secondary cancer. Imperial College itself has taken a very brave step forward by purchasing 25 acres in the centre of London, West London, in order to build an innovation district. Very different from the old days of science parks. This is an inner city hub of activity. It's going to have a huge amount of density, 4.5 million square feet, 10,000 scientists and engineers, 600, 700 companies. I'd like to welcome you at some point to London and come and see what we're doing and hope that we can be part of a global innovation network.